If you want to eat a bunch of food and gain a load of fat, then you can. You are an adult, you make your own decisions, and you can deal with the repercussions of those decisions. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Now, dirty bulking. Is it worth it? No, not really. Let's see why. But first, take 2 seconds to subscribe to my YouTube channel, AshmayPT, and also give this video a thumbs up whilst you're at it. So as always, we need to clarify what dirty bulking actually is before we get into the main topic of the video. There are a few different things and ways and forms of dirty bulking, but they all pretty much lead to the same outcome. So rather than focusing on which way you're getting there, we'll just talk about dirty bulking as the outcome. Dirty bulking is intentionally gaining weight in order to gain muscle, but you're gaining a lot of weight and a lot of fat in the process. So your calorie intake is going to be way higher than your calorie maintenance level, more than a 500 calorie surplus for sure. And usually the foods that you are eating aren't going to be the healthiest, best choices for you. You're also probably not tracking your food or your calories or anything like that. So whatever way you look at it, dirty bulking is a large calorie surplus where you gain a lot of body fat in a pursuit to build muscle. This is opposed to a lean bulk where you gain less weight and less fat whilst trying to build muscle. But is this optimal? Okay, so when you are eating in a calorie surplus in order to try and gain weight and build muscle, some fat gain is inevitable. You're going to gain some fat. It's just because you're providing your body with more calories than it needs. So some of that is going to be fat. However, the actual amount of excess energy of calorie surplus that your body requires in order to build muscle is very small. It's way lower than a lot of people think, provided that protein intake is sufficient, of course. You really only need a surplus of 100 to 200 calories above your calorie maintenance to get most of the muscle growth that you can achieve, because it is such a slow process. So in most cases, when you're doing a dirty bulk of 1,000 calories above maintenance instead of 100 to 200, it's guaranteed to lead to a lot of unnecessary fat gain. So reason one why dirty bulking isn't great is unnecessary fat gain. Since for most people, more body fat is not something they want, does it sound like a good idea to eat way above maintenance for such a marginal, small increase in potential muscle building? Number two is more time is going to be spent cutting. The more fat that you gain during your bulk means the more fat you need to lose during your cut. Simple as. So let's say during your 6-month dirty bulk, you built more muscle than you would have built doing a 6-month lean bulk. Great. Maybe in your dirty bulk, you built 6 pounds of muscle in 6 months, a pound per month. And then in your lean bulk, you would have only built 4.5 pounds of muscle in those same 6 months. So you built an extra 1.5 pounds of muscle by doing your dirty bulk. However, after 6 months of dirty bulking, you've put on a lot of unnecessary fat. So now you need to spend the next 3 months doing quite a drastic cut just to get rid of all of that fat that you put on. So now in that 9-month span, you'll spend 6 months to gain 6 pounds and then 3 months to lose all of the unnecessary fat here. And let's say during your 3 months cut, you're one of the lucky ones, you barely lost any muscle. All you lost in those 3 months was 0.5 pound. So now, for those 9 months of a gain and a loss phase, your total gain over that time was 5.5 pounds of muscle. However, now if we compare that to the lean bulk situation where you gained 4.5 pounds of muscle in those 6 months, because you were doing everything so lean, you weren't gaining all this unnecessary fat. After those 6 months, you don't need to cut. You can carry on bulking. So instead of having 6 months gain, 3 months cut, this time you just get 9 months of gaining, of solid gaining. And if in those next 3 months of your lean bulk you continue to gain weight at a rate of 0.75 pounds a month, as you did in the first 6 months, that means by the end of the 9 months, your total gain is going to be 6.75 pounds of muscle, over a pound more than if you did a dirty bulk and then a cut. So, because the dirty bulk led to less overall time in a gaining phase, it actually ended up building less muscle in the long term than if you had have done a lean bulk, even though in the short term it built more. And number 3 is that the additional muscle that is gained is just going to be lost. So as mentioned previously, the difference between a 1000 calorie surplus and a 200 calorie surplus is going to be tiny in terms of the amount of muscle actually gained. You nearly max out on how much muscle you can build at the 200 calorie surplus. Adding those extra 800 calories isn't going to do much for you. But let's say that it is enough to make it worth your time. That muscle gain might be worth it for you. However, even in that situation, the additional muscle you do gain is still going to be a small amount. And because of that, when you do have to do this drastic cut to get rid of all the unnecessary fat gain, the additional muscle you built, the additional benefit that you got is going to be lost, because when you cut, it's inevitable that you're going to lose some muscle, especially if you're doing it quick and aggressively. It is possible to maintain close to 100% of any muscle gained when you're just doing a slow, steady, small fat loss phase. However, when you see people cutting down from a dirty bulk, it's none of those things. It's never slow and it's not a small amount of weight. They've got a lot of fat to get rid of and they want to get rid of it quick to feel like they look good again. And with this kind of aggressive cutting strategy, you're going to lose muscle. It's just inevitable. So the gain from a dirty bulk compared to a lean bulk is just going to be lost at the end of the dirty bulk. Basically speaking, any additional muscle that is gained from the larger calorie surplus will very likely be lost when you go back to cutting your calories down. So it's hard to see any real benefit to doing that in the first place. So, dirty bulking, is it worth it? Well, I think from the last 3 points it's pretty clear my views on this, but just in case I wasn't clear enough, no, it's not worth it. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. I can hear the people clicking the dislike button. Like this video, by the way. People want to believe that dirty bulking is necessary. They want it to be the answer. And that's because people want an excuse to eat more food, to eat these less healthy food options and not have to track. They want an excuse to eat a load of food, and they want an excuse and a reason to tell people why they're not currently lean. I'm not lean, but it's okay. I'm on a dirty bulk, bro. That's what people want to be able to say, and it is just an excuse. But my answer to that is, you don't need an excuse to eat a ton of food. If you want to eat a bunch of food and gain a load of fat, then you can. You are an adult, you make your own decisions, and you can deal with the repercussions of those decisions. And in terms of an excuse for why you're not currently lean, look, if you don't enjoy maintaining leanness, if you are more comfortable not being lean, then don't be lean. I know it sounds crazy, but don't do it. You don't need an excuse for that. Again, you're an adult, you make your own decisions, but don't use dirty bulking as an excuse. Just make a decision and then own it. The actual reasons why dirty bulking isn't worth it is all of the points that I went through in this video. It's a waste of time. The amount of extra muscle gained from a 1000 calorie surplus compared to a 200 calorie surplus is absolutely tiny, if it's even there. And any extra muscle that is gained from that additional surplus is just going to be lost during a cutting phase, or outweighed when you look at the amount of time you can spend bulking every year. You end up having to spend more time cutting each year to get rid of that excess fat, and when you're spending that time cutting, the lean bulkers are still gaining, and they are going to overtake you. They're gaining, they're staying lean, all the while you are having to strip away all of those extra pounds that you put on. It's not worth it, guys. And that is all for today. That is my opinion on dirty bulking. Take it, leave it, do what you want, I don't care. You're an adult, you make your own decisions, but that is my view on dirty bulking. It's not worth it. It isn't going to help you build more muscle in the long run. It isn't the only way to do things. It isn't the best way to do things. And it isn't the fastest way to do things either. So why do it? The best way to build muscle is to be at a healthy body weight, eat a healthy, balanced diet, and exercise correctly in a way that improves your overall health. End of. If you have any questions at all from what we spoke about in this video, make sure to drop them in the comment section below and I'll get right back to you. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, AshMadePT, whilst you're at it. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, see you later, guys.